Hey gang, Twev here, and here's our daily vlog of what's going on. Today was kind of a lackluster day. I had planned on taking the kids out for lunch, heading down the road to McDonald's, but unfortunately my girl, she fell asleep in her jumpy chair, my little baby girl. So that kind of killed the idea for lunch because it was right around the time I wanted to take them for lunch. Plus, last night, sleeping, I totally killed my lower back. So I'm compensating while I'm laying down and not lay on my side. So I'm twisting with my lower back, and I don't want to drive when I take a Percocet, especially with the kids. So I ended up taking a Percocet because she fell asleep, and we ended up ordering lunch in. It was good, though. I mean, it was good that we ordered in. It was nice to not have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, kind of to treat us. So those afternoon plans and going to my doctor to get a letter taking me out of work for the next 5 weeks so I could have that for my, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is dying. My leave of absence. So wife came home. She ended up picking up dinner because I told her we ordered a late lunch. So we kind of had pizza left over that my son and I were going to eat. Then I actually logged in to my game services. I logged into battle.net. I logged into Steam, which I haven't logged in forever, to update all those clients. I log into Battle.net quite often, but it had an update for almost every single game except for Hearthstone. So it's doing the World of Warcraft, the Diablo 3, and the Heroes of the Storm updates. And I happened to notice when I was doing the Diablo 3 update, it had up there about the cow level. Now, for those of you who don't know about the cow level, do your homework. But there was a hidden cow level in Diablo 1. There was a hidden cow level in honor of that in Diablo 2, and there's always been a rumored one in Diablo 3. But because of the anniversary, they actually have a specific cow level. You go through any level and you try to find a cow. You beat the cow, opens up a portal, and you go to the cow level. You fight the cow queen, and it's supposed to get all this loot and some really good stuff. It's all random, though, so you don't know where the cow is going to show up. Problem is, this started on the 14th, and it ends at the end of the 21st. So that means it ends at the end of the day tomorrow. I wish I'd known about this earlier. I would have been playing more, so my wife was nice enough and let me play. So I got about an hour and a half of play in tonight. Did not find a cow yet, so I don't know if I'll find a cow. The good thing is I did quickly run through 3 different levels, so I'm up to level 59 now. So I'm only 11 levels away from reaching end game level, which is 70, and then you progress extra levels on top of that. And I was reading some people are up into 300s, which is just maddening. But I mean, the game is older, so I'm kind of late to the game on this, but that's just insane to be that high of a level. So it's kind of like the people when I play World of Warcraft that are 100 level. I've never had a character. This character right now that I'm playing, my Ulrich character in Diablo 3, who's level 59, is the highest level character I've ever played in, I think, in any game, actually. MMOs, the highest level I've ever gotten, I believe, was 16 in EverQuest. 16 or 18 in EverQuest. My orc in World of Warcraft this time, I want to say he's 16. And I'm going to level him up to level 25 before I have to pay. So I have no problem with that. I just haven't sat down and got in the mood to play World of Warcraft. So I'm coming back to Blizzard now and playing a lot of their games, which is fine, absolutely fine. Because really the only other game I've been playing is I got to play, Transformers Fall of Cybertron yesterday and Minecraft. And Minecraft, I get into these moods where I don't want to play it. The other day I loaded up for about a half hour, explored one mountain, came back, and that was it. I didn't want to do anything. I'm thinking about going into creative mode and creating things that are real in real life. Back in the days when I used to play Duke Nukem on my 486, it had a level editor in there, and I recreated most of my high school. Now this is pre-Columbine days, so this wasn't, it's a shooter, we're going to go through high school. It wasn't anything like that. This was pre-Columbine. We wanted to make a map in our high school so we could run around and shoot in our high school fun-wise, not scary-wise as it is today. Never finished that map. Made just a really quick down and dirty map of my house that I lived in at the time. The scale wasn't quite right, but again, it's fun to, create these 3D spaces and run through them. So it was like early 3D modeling for us in the build engine. So I think I'm going to take some things that I, go to or I've been through that I have a pretty good memory of, or online I can get a map of, and maybe start creating those in Minecraft. Because I saw on Facebook, I believe I belong to a group called the Dead Mall Enthusiasts, which just shows you dying malls and stuff like that. Malls that are completely shut down. They kind of break into it and show you the closed malls and stuff like that. And a guy was actually recreating a mall near him, which was very close to going out of business. So he was recreating that in Minecraft, and that got me thinking. That's pretty cool. That the stuff I used to do in the build engine for Duke Nukem, I could do this with Minecraft. So I think I might try doing something like that. Probably do a little bit of research. In fact, I might do some quick research after this and take a look. The other thing I've been doing today is a project I've been wanting to do for a long time. Because my daughter fell asleep, because once I got on the Percocet, of course, I felt a little bit better. My son was up at the crack of dawn with my wife. He actually woke up when she woke up this morning, so he was up at like 6:30 this morning. He was glued to the TV. He was building in Little Big Planet all day, so he was completely like zoned in on Little Big Planet. So I had to fix the super drive in my Mac Mini. I have a Mac Mini. It's my old Mac Mini that I got back in 2008. I have that running my home theater. And when I say home theater, it's not running anything more than my Plex server. And it's hooked up to my TV so we could do project-free TV and stuff like that. So the super drive in it every once in a while dies. And I used to have to take it apart and spray it and clean it. Then I saw a YouTube video after reading on a forum about this video, and it's a really cool way to clean your super drive. So if you have a Mac Mini, an older Mac Mini with the drive, and it won't work, all you do is take something like this. This is my driver's license. I'm not going to show you the other side. You take a card like this, and I like my driver's license because it's smooth. It doesn't have any raised numbers. You take something like a shirt. I took a tank top I wore to bed last night. You just slip it over the edge. Let me flip it around that way so you can't see. And you stick it in the drive, and you do the old, poke it, rub it back and forth, pull it out, and you just clean the laser head. And that's what causes the super drive not to work, is dust on the laser. So I did that. Laser works great. What I did is I went up and I started grabbing my X-Files box sets. So I came down, I would load up the box set, and I'd put it into the Mac Mini. And from my iMac, which I'm recording this on right now, which is across the room, I remote desktop in. So I just hopped on here, remote desktoped in, opened up Handbrake. I queued up the entire disk, had it rip, do my thing. About an hour later, check on it, put the next disk in. And it took me, let's see, I think there's 6 disks per season. So it took me about 6 hours or so, give or take, because I was doing it on and off. I was doing it in between Diablo and stuff like that. I just got done with it about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago, and I probably started it around 3:30. It wasn't something I was consistent on. I'd forget about it, and then I'd do this. For a while in the beginning there, I was actually doing each episode individually without thinking, hey, I could queue up the entire disc. But this is something I want to do. Now, I was disappointed. I thought I owned seasons 1 through 8, because those are all the ones that David Duchovny was through. And then he left for, well, partially, for 10 or 9 and 10, which I really don't care, but I should probably get those. I only have 1 through 7. So I am disappointed, so I may have to go online, see if I could pick up at least season 8 pretty cheap, and maybe pick up 9 and 10. But right now my boxes, these are the old boxes. So these are the old ones that they were huge and they had the whole spill out thing. But this is season 2 I'm on right now. Season 1 is completely ripped and on my Plex server. So we're ripping the first disc on season 1. I already have, no, I didn't. Yeah, I brought down season 3. So my goal is to finish up season 2 tomorrow and get as much season 3 as I can on there. And it'd be nice by next week to have all the X-Files episodes or seasons 1 through 7 that I own on the Plex server. After that, I think I might do Millennium. Millennium's only 3 seasons. Put that on there. And then comes the big one. I want to do Stargate SG-1. Now, I own all 10 seasons of that on DVD. That's going to take a while to do because that's 10 years. So it's going to take longer than the X-Files. So that's 10 years of SG-1. And then I have Atlantis, which is 5 seasons. And then I also have Stargate Universe after that, which is 2 seasons. So I'd like to rip all this onto the network. Ambitious? Yes. But completely possible. The X-Files are actually going to be very easy to do because these are standard def in 4x6 format or 4x8. It's non-letterbox. I think it's 4x6. You have to excuse me if the AV Geek isn't turned on right now. 4x3. 4x3, I think. Anyway, each episode only clocks in ripped at actual resolution with compression at about 560 megabytes per episode. So that's a 45-minute episode. So that's not bad. The first season took about 9 gigs it weighed in at. So you do 9 gigs times 7. That's actually not that bad. So you're talking 63 gigabytes for 7 seasons. So that's not bad at all. So I did throw in the new terabyte drive for the server. So the server is now hosted on a terabyte drive. Eventually, I'd like to update that to a 2 terabyte drive. I don't have a spare 2 terabyte disk laying around like I had the 1 terabyte. So I'll probably have to buy a 2 terabyte drive or actually buy a 2 terabyte enclosure pre-made, which is what I'll probably end up doing. And then I could use that 1 terabyte for something else, maybe a NAS or something like that. But that's my goal right now, is to get the X-Files ripped, which a lot of people are probably thinking, why would I do this when every single episode is now available on Netflix? A couple of different reasons I want to do it. One, I like having the hard copies. I like having the fact that I'm not relying on Netflix. I'm not relying on my internet connection. If my internet goes down right now, I can go downstairs right now and unplug my cable modem. And because I'm running through my router on my LAN, I can still watch those. No problem at all. I like the fact that if I need to transfer them somewhere, I could transfer them. I could archive them because DVDs don't last forever. Neither do digital files technically, but it'd be nice if I can store these somewhere if I wanted to. So once I get all these ripped, you're talking 63 gigabytes. I can get a 128 gigabyte stick or a 64 gigabyte stick, stick it into the computer, run everything over, and boom. On one little stick is my entire X-Files collection. That's awesome. That's something I'll probably do with the Stargate collection. Once I get that done, as I'll probably buy a stick and put the entire Stargate collection on there and put that somewhere. Just in case a disc gets scratched or something like that happens, I have the digital copies right there that I could pull out and throw into any machine. That's the really nice thing. Plus, it doesn't cost any bandwidth. So, if it's primetime hours and my wife's watching TV and I want to rip through 3 different, X-Files episodes, I don't have to worry about the bandwidth. Not that I worry about bandwidth anymore because our bandwidth is very balanced anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm a big believer in being self-sufficient. That's why I have a Plex server. That's why I like running my own media server, because I don't have to be reliant on Netflix. I don't have to be reliant on a third party to give me my content. Just like in the same way, some of the shows I used to watch on Netflix all the time have gone off there. Well, now like SG-1 used to be on there. Atlantis used to be on there. Well, if I didn't own those DVD sets, now I wouldn't be able to watch it. But the fact is, I own all 10 seasons sitting right upstairs in my DVD case upstairs in my attic. I have all 5 seasons of Atlantis, and I have both seasons of Universe. I have the entire Stargate live action library right there, including the original movie. I have everything right there, Stargate, so I don't have to rely on a streaming service to watch it. I don't have to go on to Amazon Prime and buy it. I have it already, and I could digitize it and make my own little Netflix server for the house. And that's why I do this type of stuff. So I think that's it. Now we've run quite a bit. We're running about 15 minutes. Eventually I do want to talk about some subjects. Actually, I do want to talk about one thing, which is great. And I normally don't promote other videos just because I don't think people will be interested on it. But there was a video that was released a few days ago by Boogie2988, and I'm going to put the link in the description below, called Video Games Made Me Fat. And if you don't know Boogie2988, follow him. He's an awesome guy. He's funny, great video game commentary, great commentary on life. But he's a gentleman of size. He goes about 500 pounds. And people get on him about his weight all the time. And lately there's been a lot of fat shaming out there. And he's sick of people telling him video games made him fat. And he did a great correlation between what video games are. Video games are a sedentary activity. It's an activity where you're sitting there, you're only moving your thumbs and your index fingers, and that's all you're doing. So if that's going to cause you to get fat, so should watching sports. Because all you're doing is you're sitting there sucking down beer and wings and chips. And you're really not doing any of this. You're not using your mind at all to try to, do strategy and everything else like that. You're sitting there as a couch potato doing that if you're watching sports. If you're binge watching Netflix. If you're just watching plain old TV, you're still a sedentary activity. The point is, you do any of those long enough, you're going to get fat. You have to A, stop eating, and you have to 2, get up and do something. And he'll be the first to admit he's addicted to food. He has a little bit of a mental imbalance. Don't we all? I can completely relate to that with what's up here. And he admits it's his own fault. He's overweight. He overeats. He relies, he as my wife would say, he eats his feelings, because that's what she tends to do sometimes. When she starts getting upset, she eats. When I get upset, I stop eating. It's a really weird thing we have with each other. But saying that you play video games makes you fat is just being ignorant. That's absolutely being ignorant, because you're not doing anything different than you are going and watching sports. If you go to a sports stadium and you sit down in that seat, don't tell me you're going to get up and jog, or you're going to go out there and play with the team. You're going to sit there for as many hours as that game takes place. I guarantee you're going to have a hot dog and maybe some popcorn and maybe some peanuts and probably at least a couple sodas or a couple beers. Then you're going to get in your car and you're going to drive. So your entire afternoon or day is completely sedentary, which is no different than me sitting on my couch or sitting right here and playing a video game for 2 hours. First of all, I'll probably be less time than it will for you to watch that sporting event. And 2, I'm going to get up after that. And 3, I would say about 50% of the time I'm eating and drinking while playing a game. I'm mostly drinking. I usually almost always have a drink. Rarely anymore do I eat while playing video games, just because I don't want to get the controller greasy or crumbly or anything else like that. I really don't need shit in my keyboard or on my mouse. So I'm going to put a link to the video. It's a really good video, especially for those who call us gamers lazy and fat. I'm fat. I'm lazy. That's my own problem. Video games did not make me that way. TV did not make me that way. I made me that way. And maybe some of the medications I'm on made me that way. But it's just the way I am. It's the way he is. It's the way other people are. There are gamers out there who play tons of games who are actually fit because they go to the gym. They eat right. It's their choice. It's our choice. So I'm going to link that video in there because that is an excellent video to watch. It's the first video I've seen in a long time that really kind of synced with what I've always felt and kind of really spoke to not me as a person, but me as someone who's always tried to get that across to someone. Like, finally, someone else is thinking this way. Someone else is making these correlations. So that's a great video to watch. If you actually made it to the end of my video, which is almost 20 minutes, thank you. Check the description. Check out that video. It's less than 10 minutes long. Check it out. Look at our line of thinking, and that'd be great. So until then, I'm either going to go play some more video games or I'm going to go to bed and watch some X-Files. Either way, we'll see you tomorrow.